Opens up this weekend, and Jason Nathanson's going to talk about it. Good morning, Jason Nathanson.
Yeah, good morning. Good to be here.
All right, so Halloween. Explain to me where this fits in the Halloween world.
This is the second Halloween. In terms of all the Halloween movies, they want you to look at this as the direct sequel to the 1978 original. So forget everything that's come between 1978 and now. Halloween H2O, anything by Rob Zombie, anything else that Jamie Lee Curtis was in. It just does not matter to this Halloween timeline. And there's some sly winks and nods to the various theories and everything else that's happened, which Halloween fans will appreciate. But this is as if the Halloween in 1978 happened, and Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, was traumatized from the events of that night and the attack by Michael Myers, and now for the last 40 years of her life, she's been living and dealing with the trauma of that event and how it's infected her daughter and her granddaughter and her family members, and she's been preparing for Michael Myers to come back for one final confrontation, and that's what we get in this movie.
You know what? I like it. Yeah, I mean, right? If you can believe there's an axe murderer with a mask on, you can believe just about anything.
Absolutely. I mean, and it doesn't matter. Like, you don't go into this going, well, that's not how it's supposed to be, gosh darn it. I mean, these movies, you suspend all disbelief. And they, like I said, they do play with it. They have some fun with it. I saw it in the theater packed with Halloween fans who got a lot of the references and really, kind of understood some of the stuff a lot more than I did. And they really appreciated that. And then in terms of the actual movie itself, it's fun. It's very funny in some parts, which I was really pleased by. I love when they do a lot of comedy with the horror
right.
as well. And as for the horror stuff, it's your typical slasher movie. So if you like that kind of thing, you're going to love this. Go see it in a packed theater. It's October. You'll have a lot of fun. Certainly a lot of people are going to see it this weekend. It's going to make a ton of money. We're looking at $50 to $70 million. And then if it gets to that high end, it'll be a record opening for a horror movie in October.
What about this movie that's getting a lot of buzz, The Hate You Give?
Yes, this is based on a novel of the same name. It is about a 16-year-old girl played by Amanda Stenberg who has to decide if she's going to stand up for what she believes in after she witnesses the shooting of her best friend by a police officer. It's very timely. There's a lot of going on, in parallel to what's going on with police violence and communities and stuff like that. And so a lot of people, you have Common also in it, Anthony Mackie, Regina Hall. You have a great cast. And that opens this weekend. It's been open in limited release for a couple weeks now, and it finally goes wide this weekend, so everybody can see it.
All right, and then what's going on Netflix this weekend?
Couple big things. If you're a fan of Making a Murderer, season 2 is out today. Remember, Making a Murderer came out a couple of years ago. They quietly dropped during Christmas. And over the holiday, a lot of people, I guess, were on vacation. They discovered it. Word of mouth took off, and it became a sensation. It's about the murder of photographer Teresa Halbach and Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey, who are convicted of that murder. This is a true crime docuseries. And now this is part 2 about everything that's happened since the original came out, the appeals, all the headlines that we've seen and how that's incorporated into the trial and their attempts to be cleared of this murder.
That Making of a Murder, wasn't it like 13 episodes?
I don't know if it's 13 or 10 or 8 or however many it was.
I don't know if I wanted to devote 8-9 hours to one murder in Wisconsin.
A lot of people did, and that's what was so surprising about it, was people just really were gripped by this story. It's very well done. I felt the same way. I got about 4 episodes in, and I'm like, I'm kind of done with it. And then also I knew some people who actually covered the trial, and they told me that the stuff that's being presented is very one-sided in the documentary. So I didn't want to be manipulated like that.
Right.
But in order to have a good drama and make a good series, usually there is a lot of manipulation going on. So, that's if you're into that, go for it.
It is what it is. Jason Nathanson, ABC News correspondent. Have a good weekend, Jason. Thanks.
You too. Take care.